the recording. You can start the recording. Yeah. Hello, everyone. We are joining live for, I'm joining live in very long time. So hello, everyone. Hello and welcome, everyone. Today, my name is Deepak Kumar and I'm a mindset and personal development coach. I'm from India. And today we're going to talk about why mindset is important, what mindset is, and what it can do to your personal and professional life. Okay, but before that, we have our beautiful guest with us, our co-host. She is a student to me, and none other than everybody knows her through my Facebook profile. She is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Deepak. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here on your live. Yes, I'm a student of Deepak's and done some pretty good transformation in my life, and I can't wait to share.
That's good to hear that. I've always, I have seen you since you were, I don't want to say that, but it's true. It's kind of fun. It's kind of, I remember you from your crying to your first call, and then we are here, doing Facebook Live. I have seen the most confident version of you, and, now the way you are doing things, and the most importantly, I believe you already had that belief system in you that you can do it. It was just that confidence in you that was lacking at that time. Right now, you're filled with the confidence. You are, overflowing with that confidence. And I love that, I really, really love that, the way you do things. And I believe you have become more of, what you were. You have become more kind. You have become more, flawless at what you do. If I'm correct.
Absolutely. I've seen so many things change, and not only have I changed through all of the steps I've gone through, but the people around me are experiencing the changes as well. My family, my friends. I've been an inspiration just in what I do and what I say. And that's all we ask, is that you live your life in your truth and you spread it just by being yourself.
Absolutely. That's what we want to be. We want to be ourselves, because think about it. Everybody else is already taken. Right? So it's better to be yourself, be who you are. God made everyone unique. Okay. He gives us, unique talent and abilities, and we just need to, develop those abilities to the level so we can help other, we can serve other, we can, make other people lives. I think that is the reason. That's why we are sitting here, why we are, talking about these things, because I'll go with my story and then I'll, ask you to go with your story. Then we talk about, what are the changes that I have and you have been, gone through. 4 years ago, approximately 4 years ago, I happened to read the book Think and Grow Rich. Okay. And in that book, in the preamble of that book, in the preface of that book, it was written something like that. There is a secret in this book. If you can find it, you can achieve anything you want. Hope everybody can listen to me clearly.
It's clear.
So when I read that, I was a curious kid. I was, curious kid, and I wanted to know the secret. I was so wholeheartedly wanted to know the secret, and to know the secret, I was just reading that book over and over and over and again. Okay. What happens, I didn't know at that time what I was doing, but I was actually transforming my mindset by giving some positive information to my mind over and over and over again. Okay. At that time, I had no idea how that book was written, who wrote that book. Let's see if somebody has joined us on our Zoom. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Renee. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining. Welcome. We are glad to have you here, Renee. So I don't know, at the time that what that book was doing to me, but all those chapter, faith, persistent, desire, was going in my mind over and over and over again, you know. And then I read that book for 1 year, and after 1 year, first thing happened is I started thinking differently. I was not a normal person again. Okay, I started attracting different people into my life. Then I started attracting Bobs, and I started watching him. I came to know him, and then I started studying him, and ultimately so many things happened, and I started my own coaching business, and things went really fast. I became a coach, and currently I'm coaching people to change their mindset, change their paradigms. In the process of reading that book, understanding what book was saying, of course, I read many book into that process because I was curious to know the secret, and I was looking for it from all possible angles. So I didn't want it to miss it. When I came to know about the secret, it was really simple. Okay, and anybody can know it, but very few people apply it in their life. Okay, it is that simple. Okay, Napoleon Hill also mentioned that that secret was written into that book for so long, like many times. It was repeatedly written into that book. Okay, so it was like that. Okay, so when I read that book, I studied Bob's material, and then I started really understanding that what mindset can do to your life. Okay, because the background I was coming from into the business was totally different. The mindset that I have right now is totally different what mindset I used to possess 3 years ago. Okay, the life, the freedom I live today is totally different what I used to experience before 3 years ago. So it was totally different. Okay, tell me about you, Michelle. Like we have Michelle today. She is with me for more than a year now. She has experienced so many changes in her life. Why don't you go and tell about your story?
Sure. Thank you so much, Deepak. I can't wait to share my story. I lived for over 20 years on antidepressants, and being on those antidepressants, I was stuck. I was numb. I was on autopilot. I was living life for others, and I wasn't honoring myself and who I am. Going through some changes in my life, even before meeting Deepak, I took the Cannabis Coaching Institute course, and I became a cannabis health coach. The first thing that I did through that was I learned how cannabis for me actually quieted the racing mind with the negative thoughts and the ruminating behavior that was behind that. Once I started to shut down the noise that was in my head, I was able to start noticing the thoughts, noticing my behaviors, noticing that there are certain things that I do that need to change. That's about the time when Deepak came into my life. I was scared. I was nervous. I took on something that was really big and full of stigma. Working with cannabis in a healthful way was terrifying to come out and to start talking to other people about it because of the stigma that's underlying it. So when Deepak came into my life, and I'm sure I attracted him into my life in a way, searching for answers. I don't even realize, like, we connected in Facebook. And yeah, when he asked me, what do you want in your life? And I was in tears, and I need confidence. I don't know where my confidence is. I was navigating this new world for the first time, something I was passionate about, something that I wanted to do, a way that I could help others, maybe help them get off their antidepressants as well, and find ways to stop those negative thoughts in our minds so that we can change our habits, change our behaviors, and learn to live as our authentic self. It was it was a lot of work at first. I didn't do the homework. I wasn't doing the writing. I was just showing up at the meetings and completely forgetting what I was supposed to do in between. And but I still showed up. And that was the first step, showing up every day or every week for our calls. As I started to understand how our habits were formed in the first place through programming, I realized that that's what I also needed to unprogram those prior paradigms and prior programming into something new. And you can't just get rid of something, you have to replace it with something new.
Absolutely.
So by adopting the accountability, we wrote out Serenity for 90 days. We wrote out The Effortless Way. We wrote out a few other passages, and just
Right now
made
we
me
are doing the big money.
big money. And just by doing this consistently and adding it to my morning routine, adding it to how I carry myself during the day, and ultimately reprogramming who I am with confidence has made me who I am today. And I'm so proud. I have a beautiful website out there, CannaWellWithMichelle.com, and I'm happy to share my story, and I can't wait to help others overcome their depression as well.
Absolutely. It's a lovely story. You know, I always believe that, you know, you're going to help a lot of people, you know, the way she is, the way the compassion she brings, you know, the kindness she brings, you know, it's amazing, you know. That's what you need. Okay, you don't need actually, you know, the more of skills, you know, because everything you're going to learn in the process. Because when I started, you know, I didn't have any of skill. Let me tell you about me. I was terrible at selling something. Okay, I was literally terrible. I was, you know, going to them and asking them if they want to buy. If they don't want to buy, I go tata bye bye and come back home. I was literally, that was me, you know. And then I was coming thinking, why did you do that, Deepak? I don't know. Okay, I don't know how to properly follow up with someone. I didn't know, like, none of the skills I had. But one thing, you know, inside of me, that, you know, I wanted to do something, you know, I wanted to do this, I wanted to help people. I understand something in the way of secret, you know, from the books, from the, you know, teaching from book, and I wanted to share that understanding, you know. When you want to, you know, when you're talking about confidence is nothing, you know, just the understanding that you have about yourself with experience. Okay, that's what confidence is all about. Okay, how much do you understand yourself? Okay, if you go to the average person, you know, tell them that who they are, they'll give you their name, but that's not who they are. That is the most important thing I learned from Bob. I'm not my name, and that made a huge difference in my life, you know.
They
Okay.
say sometimes words are what kind of stifle the energy, right? You can read a person just by being in their presence. You can read their energy, and you can tell if they're a good person, and then their words can tell you something different, right?
Yeah.
Even when somebody's not having a good mood and they say, yeah, I'm fine, you can tell. You can tell through their body language and who they are is
Basically,
in there.
you know, your confidence dictates your aura, right? The aura that you possess around your body, you know, that's why people, you know, feel good around you. If you're a positive, you know, optimistic person, you know, people are always gonna feel good around you, you know, because you're always gonna notice good thing about them, because you have that, you know. What we are talking about is mindset, a positive mindset, you know. So we were talking about, you know, the confidence, you know. Confidence is, you know, the result of understanding and experience. You may understand it, but if you don't have that experience, that means you haven't done it, right? That's not real confidence, in my opinion. Okay, or some way or other, you will, you know, lack that. Okay, you lack confidence. Like, everyone has that, you know, that zone, that area where, you know, you don't have been into your life. Okay, in that area, you know, how you're behaving in that area. that dictates your confidence, that dictates how much do you understand yourself. Okay, ultimately, if you know how to go from A to, D or E, right, you know how to go there, you have already been there. But if I ask you to go from A to Z, right, and you haven't been there, you will be a little shaky. Okay,
Right.
you will like that. But how do you handle yourself in that area? Okay, that depends on how much do you understand yourself. Okay, how much do you have that experience. Okay, so pretty much like that. Okay, so anyone can become confident. Okay, so it's just a matter of practicing it, and just a matter of doing what we say. It's like a piece of cake for anyone. Okay, now I do understand, because confidence was very big thing for me and 3-4 years ago. Now I do understand that if I can understand me, I can act confident even though I'm not confident from inside, right? And when I do those things which I have been told to do and I am accountable, the results will be huge. Okay?
Doing the thing that you're afraid of, crossing that terror
Absolutely.
barrier. And that was something that stuck with me a lot, and that I share with people, is that terror barrier. Like, we can, that was that negative ruminating thought loop that I was in. I'd always get to that, like, oh, this scares me, that I get these thoughts, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not smart enough, that I can't do this. This is new. This is scary. And then you just cycle back into the same routine, the same thought patterns and stuff. It was when I finally crossed that terror barrier, and I did something that scared me. That's where the confidence comes. That's where you find it, by doing something new, doing something different, something that scares you. You're not going to grow. You're not going to find that in your loop. You're not going to find that by doing the same thing and doing what's comfortable and what's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Change isn't easy, but doing nothing means you change nothing.
Absolutely. As somebody used to say that, taking risk is hard, but wait until the bill of regret is much higher than the bill of taking risk. Okay, so take risk in your life, right? So you can't afford to regret in your life, right? You can't afford it, right? So
no, you'll stay stuck, you'll stay numb, you'll stay in the same holding pattern forever if you don't take those steps, small actionable steps towards a scary goal.
Yeah, absolutely. We often talk about the 1% rule. You grow yourself 1% daily, right? You do something in your personal field, right? Every day, maybe you read something, may you study something, may you do something every day. That's 1%. Okay, and you keep doing that with consistency, you're gonna explode in next 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. And what's important is having that clearly defined goals, that where I want to go in 6 months, 1 year and next 3 years. That is very, very important. Okay, we'll talk
that was something that really helped me get through some of those days when I felt like, what am I doing? Where I'm not even making any change. I'm not even making any progress. And what is this all about? But when you talk about that 1% change every day, it's like, I can do that. and then you start connecting the dots behind you, going, I did that. Like, look at how far I have come. Like, by 1% a day, it adds up,
every day,
100% in 100 days. Like, that's a lot of change.
And it goes way beyond that. It goes way beyond that. When you really understand that, because initially, imagine like that. Okay, you put because I have seen you from where you were a plant, and then you're now you're a grown tree, and you're growing and you're exploding, right? Think about, you just took a plant and you just put it in the earth. Every day you are watering. For some time it will be like it will seem like it's not growing. Okay, it's a natural phenomena. Okay, until then suddenly a flower starts to bloom, and stems out they start to come, and it start growing. It doesn't mean that it wasn't happening. It was happening so slow that you didn't realize that. Same thing happened with personal growth. Okay, it takes effort. Okay, initially it takes time. Okay, it takes those, little efforts every day, that 1%. Okay, and if you're doing that, you are growing. And the best part you can do in that period is, most people, what do? Is they blame themselves that, hey, I'm doing all this thing and I'm not growing, I'm at the same place. But you don't have to do that. That's where you need understanding that I'm doing something and I'm growing. You start to appreciate yourself. What you're doing is basically you are focusing on the positive things, and that's the
Yeah.
mindset we need to take. So let's talk more about mindset. For me, mindset is way of thinking, you can say, is, or if I have to be more precise, I would say mindset is setting your mind to a particular frequency. Okay, you have a goal in front of you and your mind has to be on that goal. Okay, that means you have to think and act like that person. Okay, if you want to be let's take an example of being a millionaire, how that millionaire person will think and act in their daily behavior. That is actual mindset. Okay, because everything begins from thinking. Okay, and most people do not think into their entire life. Okay, if they would, if they would be thinking, they would be speechless. If you really start to think every day, you'll be astounded, like, you'll be amazed how powerful you are. Thinking is very powerful activity. How do you think, basically? Okay, so mindset is the way of your thinking, your perspective, you can call it perspective. Okay, how do you see yourself? Okay, how do you see situations around you? Okay, because if I put two people in same scenario, they're both gonna look at the same scenario in different way, and they're gonna act in a different way, which causes different results in both the behaviors, right? So that's mindset. Okay, mindset controls almost all area of your life, every area. There is no area left where mindset does not have that control. Okay, so yeah. You want to share something?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna just say, mindset, sometimes people need to get through some of the muddle in their brain first, right? Before they can find out what it is that's their passion, what it is that they want to set their mind on, and where they want to go in the future. I find that that's where I started. I still had so much mud in there that I didn't have clarity yet. And I find mindfulness and mindfulness meditation is part of the practice that I'm doing in my coaching, is starting by just calming your nervous system, calming your mind, calming the ruminating thoughts that are going in your head, and just focusing on your breath and getting into your body. And once you start finding those moments of stillness, those moments of quiet where you can start tapping into your greater faculties, your intuition, your creativity, your memories, even, you can start to find out what has been a program and what is actually me. Who is the real me in there? What do I want? Where do I want to go? And how are these other programs in my life holding me back, right? And by actually finding that stillness to quiet the rat race of life, right? Where there's so many expectations, and they're not yours, they're everybody else's, your family, your parents, your community, your culture. There's expectations that are laid on people. And when you're just conforming and you're not breaking through that conformity, you'll never find who you really are. Yeah. So the very first step in all of that is finding time to sit in stillness, quieting the thoughts, focusing on your breath, focusing through your body, and then deciding, what do I need to alter in my environment? What in my environment is holding me down?
Absolutely. I like what you said, finding that time to be, who you are, just to explore yourself, and, make time to have that mindfulness, the best way to do that, I remember you doing and me doing that serenity exercise, it's amazing, it's amazing how it works when you have really done that. I'm
Mhm.
sure you have experienced that, how you were, and you start seeing that in, 1 or 2 months, you don't have to go all the way 90 days to see that, you start experiencing that, I have experienced that in just 1 week. And that's the truth, it quiets you down. Okay, it's makes you calm. Okay, now you are not reacting. Okay,
Yeah.
now you are responding. You are in control of yourself. Okay, and that is most important thing. Okay, I remember when I started first doing this 2 years ago, and uh, there was a lot difference in me. Okay, I remember waking up every day, writing that serenity full chapter, in 1 week, 2 week, and 1 month, there was a lot of different things started happening to me. I started taking things differently into my life. I started more of responding. I became more of a quiet person. I started absorbing. I started realizing what's happening around me, and then I was responding and reacting to that situation. So it made a huge difference. Okay, and that's what it does. If you just know the difference between the way you react and the way you respond, it can make a huge difference. That's one of the biggest
Absolutely.
mindset shift that everyone needs to know. You have seen, anyone who has done anything worthwhile into their life, he is on the level, he's always calm, he's never panic. Okay, they are never panic because they understand, they understand, they follow the process, they have done that, they have done this many times, right? So it's never about panicking, or they are always calm. Even the great leaders, they have this quality, they are still. Okay, they are still in themselves. Okay, they listens, and the most important thing is, when you are still, you can listen to the person very effectively, and you can go through that communication very effective. You can become very effective at it with
It
just
starts to build self-compassion and compassion for others. Once you have that peace with yourself, and you know who you are, and you're confident with being yourself every day, then you can start to see what other people are feeling. You can feel, I don't know, you've got more compassion for people that they have a story. They've had their suffering in there as well. Be compassionate for where they are, and instead of reacting to a negative situation, you can respond by giving compassion and feeling their love, that okay, it's okay right now, that maybe they just need some growth, and someday they will get to this level of understanding as well. And I find that serenity with others, by just understanding that we all have a story, we've all come through hard things,
Mhm.
and to be compassionate for people as they're still discovering those hard
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, absolutely. You said that everybody has a story. I believe everyone is a story. Everyone is a
Yeah.
story, and it's a damn beautiful one. You should be proud of your story, because you have covered so many things in your life. Okay, you have done so many things, good things, bad things. You have maybe achieved something, maybe you have experienced some failure. It's all part of life, but you should be proud of yourself, the way you handle things, the way you do things. That's what the whole story is. Okay, you are a story. I remember Bob used to say that, you are a story, and it's a damn good one. Okay, and if you are on that level, you can make it even much better. Okay, if you want, like, you can make it even much better, because you have the pen in your hand, and you can take a pen, you can take a paper, and you can write your own story. This is how I want my story to go. Okay, because you are director, of your own story. Okay, you're actor,
Yes.
you're actor, you're everyone in your story. Okay, there is no one. Most people, what do they, how they act? They act like they're a side role in their own story. Okay,
Right.
people, they do act like they ask people, if they wants to make decision, they ask people, which television should they buy, which car is good for them, right? Right, which book is good for them, or which career. Even think about it, if you are asking someone else about your career, how pathetic it is. Think about it, right? What do you want?
Yeah.
That's your career, right? It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with the third person, right?
What do you love?
What do you love?
what do you-
What do you feel passionate about? You know, what do you believe that you can help people? That's your career. Okay. And every day you work toward it to become better. That's what it is, you know. You just walk toward it to become better every single day, and you'll see, you know, you'll see transformation in front of your eyes. Okay. Things will start to happen in front of your eyes, and you will be glad to see them. You will amazed yourself, you know, how did this happen? You know, that's how it works. Okay. So we talk about, you know, mindset, you know, first you need to understand that, you know, you are a thinking person. Okay. Everybody think, you know, everybody has that, you know, thinking ability to think. Okay. You just need to learn how to use that ability to think, you know. You need to, what do I mean by that? You need to develop one of your faculty called reason. Okay. Reason is, you know, the way you differentiate between things. Okay. Reason is basically you're allowing your mind, okay, you're allowing only those thoughts in your mind which is going to take you in direction of your goals or where you want to go. That's what reason is all about. Okay. So how most people are not, most people are just, you know, are taking things from outside. Most people are, you know, they're not using their reason, they're not using their ability, you know, to having that blockage, having that, you know, in and out system, right? You can call it whatever you want to call, but that's what it's all about. Okay. You have to use that reason that, you know, you don't have to allow anything into your life, right? You only have to allow those thoughts that are going to take you in direction. And this is the most important.
And let go of everything that doesn't, right? Letting go of the things that don't bring you in your direction.
Yeah.
And grasping towards the ones that do. Yeah. Focusing on those.
I was coming on to that. The biggest ability that you have is, you know, the ability to choose. Okay. You can choose. Okay. That is the biggest thing. That's where, you know, it's thinking starts. Okay. You can choose. Okay. What are you choosing? Okay. And that's where your life is gonna, you know, take directions. Okay. So choose good thoughts. Okay. Initially, you have to discipline yourself to choose good thoughts until it becomes a habit. Okay.
And those good thoughts over and over build. Yeah, those good thoughts, as you think them, the more good thoughts you have, the more good thoughts you will have. And the more it'll raise your frequency and raise your vibration so that you start attracting more of that into your life.
Absolutely. You know, that's so much right. Okay. If you keep thinking good thoughts, you know, it will start more of the good thought. It will start attracting more of the good thoughts in your life. Okay. Okay. So that's how, you know, it works. Okay. So, you know, you have a first thing I'll explain about thinking is, you know, first thing you have your mind, right? Your mind is a non-physical part of your personality. When we're talking about mind, we're not talking about the brain. Okay. Brain is the physical part of your, you know, body. But your mind is non-physical part of your personality. Okay. Your mind is governor of your body. Whatever mind has to say, the body has to do. Okay. That's what mind is. And your mind,
you know,
is,
keep going, go ahead.
Your mind is divided into two parts. Okay. Conscious and subconscious. Okay. Both these parts works differently. And here it is very crucial that, you know, everybody should understand that, you know, how does my conscious mind works, how does my subconscious mind work, you know, and what impact does it, you know, happens on my body. Okay. And how can I work in harmony of both of these two minds to create the result I want to create. Okay. So your conscious mind is a thinking mind. Okay. But your subconscious mind is an emotional mind. Okay. Your conscious mind has the ability to choose. Okay. It can accept or reject. I was talking about the biggest ability you have. Okay. But your subconscious mind cannot reject. It can only accept. It's like a earth. Okay, whatever you're gonna put in the earth never gonna wake up and say, no, you're putting the wrong seed, stop it. It's never gonna happen. Okay, in the same way, subconscious mind does not differentiate. Okay, whatever you're gonna give it, it has to take, and it will start, it will start moving into the reality. It will start taking action onto it. Or you can say that your subconscious mind does not have any sense of humor. It doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. Okay, you give it with emotions, it's gonna take it. Okay, your conscious mind has ability to create things. Okay, your conscious mind has some faculties, imagination, will, reason, perception, memory, intuition. Okay, using those faculties, you can, what the best thing you can do is, and this is where you differentiate from all the creatures, because around you. Okay, your body has sensory factors, see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Okay, so does your pets have sensory factor, but those pets, does not have higher mental faculties. Okay, that is the difference between you and them. Okay, they are trained in that way, but you are like, you are God's highest form of creation. Think about it. Do you act like that? I am God's highest form of creation. Most people don't. Okay, most people, they don't act like that. I am a God's highest form of creation. Okay, they act like I am a living being, and that's why their results are showing like that. So your conscious mind can, using your conscious mind, you can create things into your life. Okay, you can create beautiful images about what do you want in your life. And here is the most important question you want to ask yourself: what do I want in my life? Okay, what do I want in my life? How my life I want to be. Okay, how I want to live my life, with whom I want to live my life, where I want to live my life. Okay, what are the things I want to experience in my life? All these things, they all you can create in your conscious mind. Okay, and with repetition of emotion, you can plant those seeds in your subconscious mind. As subconscious mind does not know how to reject it, it has to accept it. Okay, just like when you are planting a plant, you're watering it every day, you're nurturing it every day. In the similar way, same way, you nurture your ideas, your dreams every day with repetition of actions. You're acting toward it. Okay, you're doing something toward it. That's 1% rule. Okay, and there is no reason on earth, all Nightingale called the strangest secret. He said there is no reason on earth that it will not move into form. Okay, there is no reason. Everybody is an example. I'm an example. There is many people on this planet who are the example of this. Okay, there is no reason on earth that it will not move into action, because you are working by the law. Okay, that's what mindset is all about. Okay, how do you, and the most important part of your mindset is the image that you have about yourself. Okay, how do you conceive you in your mind? Okay, how do you see you in your mind? Okay, self-image is a very interesting topic to talk about. Self-image is, one of the most powerful force you will ever experience in your life. Most people never know that they are experiencing it until you become aware of it. Okay, and that's where awareness comes in. I'm covering too much topic in very short period of time. So
I wanted to just add one thing to how you were talking about mindset and setting your mind, and how your thoughts are so powerful. And one of the things I did discover within my journey is that I used to think that my depression was causing all the negative thoughts in my head, and I would blame it on, well, I have depression. I can't get past this. This is just who I am, and I'm going to be like this for the rest of my life. But what I did find out through this journey is that it wasn't that my depression caused my negative thoughts. It was my negative thoughts that caused my depression. And as soon as I was able to take control of my thoughts and to change that negative thought pattern to a positive thought pattern, I was able to get rid of my depression and get off my antidepressants and stay off them. I've been off since January 2022. So that's already over a year, and stable and feeling great and loving life.
All Nightingale has special word for it. He used to say that if people go through self-fulfilling, doom-fulfilling cycle. They go through that cycle of same thinking again and again and again. What they want to do is they want to understand that what causing the problem. Is it outside or inside? Okay, when you are thinking like that, what you are doing, you are living outside in, but now you're living inside out. Okay, now your inner being is creating your outer reality. Okay,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Okay, that's a difference. Okay, so it's all depends on your mindset. Just a little shift, as I said, just a little shift in your mindset can turn your life all around. It can turn your financials, it can turn your physical life. I remember I wasn't as healthy as I am today. Okay, doesn't mean I had that doesn't mean I had some severe health problem, or my body was reflecting the thoughts I was thinking. It was as simple as that. And my body was just reflecting that. Okay, if you think good thoughts, your body will reflect that. Okay, you will become more happy. When you become more happy, you'll start to live in the good body. Your body will start to flourish. Okay, as simple as that. What's the difference then between then and now? My thinking pattern. Okay, thinking pattern is totally different now. So the body is showing that the biggest impact of your thought is, and the fastest impact of your thought is in your body. Joseph Murphy said that in his book, the power of your subconscious mind. That was one of the favorite book at that time. I used to read it again and again and again. That was one of the great book. And the power of your subconscious mind. It talks a lot about how does subconscious mind work. What amazing, like he said that there is nobody knows how powerful the subconscious mind is. Nobody knows what are the creative ways of the subconscious mind is, but it works. And it really does. It really does. It's about mindset. But of course, like what we are doing here is I just want to share this with people, a lot of people, that Michelle, I love her because the way she is doing it. I love the way she is helping people in different countries. She is helping kids. And I am wholeheartedly into, my heart fell in love with that. And I wanted to promote that. So you want to go share this? Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't have anything to say right now.
So what
Well,
she's doing is she's helping kids, kids in where are those kids, Michelle?
Okay, so we're on to, okay, so I have a GoFundMe page set up for some kids in Uganda. Uganda is it's the 14th poorest country on earth. There's struggles there every day, and these orphans, they've become orphans through many different tragedies, between sickness, HIV, even just unrest in the country and malnourishment. And so there's a lot of kids that are kind of falling through the crack because they're not able to get big foundations that are helping out with things. So I've started this GoFundMe to help these guys secure their shelter, which is always kind of in flux. If they're not able to meet rent, they're always worried about losing their land. Once we can start getting them stabilized, we want to start building a sustainable farm so that they can start actually having a sustainable business that they can work with to help provide their own stuff. So right now we're just working on saving their land, making sure they have enough food to stay nourished, and then from there starting to build a farm or build something that they can be sustainable.
That's a beautiful work that you are doing. That's one of the great work that you can do. Okay, anyone can do. And I'm fully into it, that I'm supporting her into that. I love that. And I want everyone, whoever is interested, just go to her, text her, or I'll share link on my profile. Okay. And you can go and fund her according to whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay. And I believe this is the thing that we should, talk about. This is the good reason that, this is one of the reason why we started. We have discussed this earlier, why they started using this podcast, using this platform. Like, we want to invite people to just go and help them, fund them, and okay, and just make people's life better, right?
Yes.
Right, make their life easy, because nobody is, not everybody is as lucky as we are. We're sitting in good cities, we have comfortable shelter, we have, you know not everybody is lucky. Like, we should be grateful for that. Definitely I am grateful for that. But at the same time, we need to help other people as well. That's why I decided that I would support that. And I would create a separate column on my website. And then we are working, my technical team is working on that. Okay. The project we are working is called paradigmshifters.co.in. That I decided that I would create that project to help people shift their paradigm. Okay. So
I'm so grateful that you're jumping in on this mission with me. It feels so good to know that I'm going in the right direction to help people, and that I have more people backing me up and helping me out like this. So I thank you so much for helping me out with this project, Deepak.
it's always because I can see that you're going in the right direction. And ultimately we all have that, everybody we all have that feeling inside of us, that what we can do for other that will benefit us. And I'm going by the same feeling. Okay. And let's say I'm gonna do anything in my things in my hand to help them, and to just take care of these things. Okay. I'm sure you'll be better by taking care of that. Okay. So this is how we're gonna do. Okay. I think we are good. Okay. Let's is there anything else you want to share? I would love to meet Renee. Like, hey Renee, can you just go unmute yourself and introduce yourself? I would love to know you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Maybe she's multitasking and listening while she's doing other things.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we can connect sometime else. Okay. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. We're still working on that. Okay. Is there anything else you want to share?
I guess just to sum up, we're all on this planet as exactly who we are, and everything we've gone through and everything we will go through is for a reason. So to love yourself and to believe in yourself is golden, and you can't go wrong when you're standing in your truth.
Absolutely. You have to be integrity with who you are. Okay. You have to be in integrity with who you are, and that's the secret of creating results into your life. Okay. Also, I'll share this recording to you. Can anyone who can go, you can go to your YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, you can go to check it. This is just on Facebook. In futures we're gonna go on YouTube, Spotify. Okay. We'll get the recording of this on Spotify if somebody wants to listen, and we'll hopefully in future we will keep creating some good stuff for the people on Facebook. And I believe there is a lot of people out there who are looking for this kind of information, and they can tune us on anytime.
Yes.
Okay.
What Renee responded to was just dealing with some children issues, and but this is resonating with her so much. So it was great to have you here, Renee.
Oh, then I'm lucky I don't have children yet. I'm not married.
You will have children, and then you'll be lucky to have children.
Definitely I will be. Okay. Definitely I will be, but I always had thought that I want a lovely daughter. So it's like, that's one of my, thinking. I'm sharing this live, but yeah, it's fun. Okay. So yeah, that's one of my things. So, okay, we'll keep this thing here. We'll do this next week. It'll come up live next week when we'll talk more about, mindset, and we'll go more into, how paradigm works, and, how you can shift your paradigms. Okay. Okay. Let's keep it here. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Renee. Thank you everyone on Facebook. I really appreciate from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Michelle, from coming up and joining us. And it was great. It was great talking to you, and we'll keep doing this in future. Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.